Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
Multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs. You are.
Hey, welcome to the Patriot Party News. Hope everybody's doing good on this Good Friday night. Hope everybody's ready for a big weekend because there is absolutely no telling what's going to happen this weekend. I'm going to go to Funky McNasty tonight because we're going to get nasty up in here. Hope everybody is ready. You got a lot of things rocking and rolling right now, and I'd be ready for a little bit of chaos to go on, especially since we saw Spain do what it's going through. They already did that to us. They already brought folks in ready to do some pretty crazy stuff. But right now, we're in a war. Everybody should know we're in a war. If you think it's going to take a month, it's going to take 2. If you think it's going to take 5, it's going to take 10. Everybody, I say, get yourself ready. Be on board. Donald Trump is waging a war. Whoever thought we'd be taking down the cabal, the Khazarian mafia, and whoever thought that we would have probably Netanyahu under control and we would be in charge of what's going on. Big things are happening. Big changes are happening. I want to bring in Oathkeeper Bill and Mr. Edward. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on these days. What's up, fellas? How are y'all?
Hola, muchachos.
Hola,
mi gente.
muchacho.
Well, I tell you what, I enjoyed my show last night. I enjoyed show over there with Joe Patriot and Cliff and them. And there's a lot of new stuff coming out right now. Is there anything big that's sticking out in your mind that you say, well, we have got to talk about this, or whatever? It's big stuff's going on. Either one of you?
Sure.
Go ahead,
Just breaking news right now from Fox. It says police swarm Philadelphia Walmart after shooting inside. This is just broke. I just saw it. It just came through my phone.
Gotcha. One thing I'm seeing is major fraud having investigations going like crazy. We know that Patrick Burns said Trump's got the mother lode. Martine Rodil said he's got the Holy Grail. Pete Santilli told me somebody's got a wet magic wand, and little things like that are happening behind closed doors. Some of it right out in front of us. I just heard that the Trump DOJ hit the absolute mother lode of fraud. Nearly $400 million in stolen taxpayer money just got blown wide open across 7 states. We know that they just had this deal where the make sure I say it right, the Department of Justice and state officials on national anti-fraud strategy. We just got through having the Fraud Fighter Summit. We're moving into the storm. That means, okay, these are little phases we're going through, and those phases are going to keep on, if you ask me. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about where we are. I'm excited about what's going down. A lot of people want it to go faster. Some people can't see it going on. I personally can. I personally see it. I am being told this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And then I cannot hide the fact that after I'm told that, then within 10 days or 2 weeks, boom, it happens. I cannot say that that's not happening because it's happening. So timelines, they're going to be off just a little bit. They are. I'm not going to be right on all this exactly when it's going to happen, but I do feel very comfortable with the things that we're saying. I'm all over it. I am happy, and you got to be when you're feeling confident. Not confident that it's not going to be cray. There's fixing to be some crazy times, and it's going to last longer than what we want it to. But hey, we're in the fight, as you said, Edward, earlier. You're talking about militias and things. Who are the militia? Who are the militia? Who needs to step up? Be ready.
Well, let me bring this up. This is from a website called the 10th Amendment Center, and this is their interpretation, and the way that it started, it says Congress has no power to disarm the militia.
Gotcha. Wow.
Got that? Okay, this is the guy he says, for more than 3 years before the ratification of the Second Amendment, Tench Cox knew there was no such power delegated to the federal government. And then you might ask yourself as to who makes the militia. As Cox said, It's the people themselves. You, me, Bill, everybody in PPN, in the chat, everybody, the whole group, everybody, your neighbors, your family, those are the militia. But it goes on to say, it says the militia is our ultimate safety. And according to Patrick Henry, knew that the real national defense is built on a highly armed, highly trained general population. He said, we cannot have no safety, no security without it. In other words, the people themselves ready to protect and defend their own constitution and their own liberty against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Chaka chaka boom.
Wow. Wow. That's exactly right. Minutemen, our responsibility, our duty. That's what I get out of it. Back in the day, there were, at the age of 13 or 14, every young man, it was out of the ordinary if you didn't get into a militia. And, I believe that for our American founding fathers, the term militia was common. That's a common thing.
Well,
it's just part of it.
And also, even if we go to modern times, one of the things that everybody did, well, I'll say the males did, were learned how to shoot a gun, go out hunting, practice this, and how to learn. This is like even in the Boy Scout, you got your badge from knowing how to throw the barrel, use the bow and arrow and the rifle and so on and so on. That was part of Americana. There was no questions. Nobody questioned somebody who had a rifle rack in the cab of their truck with a rifle or a shotgun sitting in it. Nobody bothered it.
Right.
It was common to see it.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I had a rack in the back of my truck.
I never had one, but but that's what's going on. That's the whole thing right there. It's we the people of the United States.
And if I may add to that, we've got fifth generation warfare. It's a different type warfare as well. And we've got weapons from the Bible, and our phones are extreme weapons against what we're fighting against is evil. That is the ultimate situation here. It's not really people as much as it is the influences from the evil that have brought forth where we are today. When it comes to the militia, right, we have to fight fire with fire in essence, and that's information. And we have to get the information out. And we can no longer be apologetic. We cannot say, well, I was thinking you may want to look into. There's no more time for that. It is, listen, we have foreign involvement in our elections. Not a possibility. We do. Your election machines are in your secure room, but they're Trojan horses. Whether they were used or not within these last elections, these many years that they've been here, does not take away the fact they have the ability to do so. We have to make that prominent. Obviously, in time, if things do not go to a certain level, then tactics would have to step up. But our first main ammunition is our voice, but we have to be unapologetic. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, and just to add to what you're saying about the elections, under the Constitution, it only recognizes two types of mechanism to have the election. That's paper and the old machine. That's it. There's no electronics involved in that. So technically, everybody who uses a digital or electronic type of mechanism for the elections is against the Constitution, is unconstitutional, period.
Yeah.
I didn't write it. That's the way it is.
Yep. And we've had Fauci, right? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. What kind of a scientist and person of such stature now pleads the fifth on all the information he told us, right? We've got family and friends that are dead. We have family and friends that have been severely injured. And we have many that have nothing to do with us because they thought we were crazy. All of that information is going to come out, and they're going to find that that was a tool, that COVID-19 was a synthetic made, man-made tool to get us sick, to bring the fear in, to bring us in our homes and have mail-in ballots. That was to get rid of Trump, because and it's really nothing to do with Donald John Trump. It's the military that backed President Trump. This is an operation to get us to restore our republic. The fools, and they are now fools who do not want to take the time to listen to that. They're no longer people that we need to wake up. There's too much information out there now to where they're either coward or fool, one or the other. And I'm not going to apologize about that.
You know, and another thing, I saw a report from Arizona about the election, the mail-in election. It said that there were 74,000 some odd number of mail-in ballots, but according to the explanation, is that if one ballot is sent out, it's supposed to be logged. And when they receive it, it's supposed to be logged. Well, guess what? There's discrepancies on both sides because there was no login of ballots, of 74,000 ballots sent out, nor were they 74,000 ballots logged in when they came in. So that's an ugly one there.
I love hearing all the stuff about Maricopa County, because we've all known that was been crazy, and now the Maricopa County director admits in court, that election workers were remotely logging into the EMS systems and verifying ballot signatures from home. No oversight, no chain of custody, with complete admin access, which allows anything in the system to be manipulated. We've seen from Mark Cook how quickly somebody, in a meeting that he's at with a computer set up, can bring someone that's not really big on computers, doesn't, not well versed in them, can walk up and in 3 clicks switch numbers. Literally switch numbers. That's what we're talking about the red button. That's what the red button did, was switched numbers. When all else fails, switch the numbers. Wow. Some big stuff.
And if I may, a lot of people, they have a hard time understanding why, right? You have to look at the foundation of what it is we're really doing here. And how long has this fight been going on? With my research, it's led me to Abraham Lincoln time frame. Abraham Lincoln, when he went back to the greenbacks, right? The banks didn't want that to occur. He was assassinated. The banking war is huge. The British Imperial Empire's grab and blanket over the United States of America and our republic was real. John F. Kennedy wanted to get us back to an asset-backed silver money. He was assassinated, and he also identified we need to splinter the CIA. We need to destroy the military-industrial complex. Media, you need to speak the truth, even if it hurts. Even if it hurts us, you need to speak the truth. John F. Kennedy did that. He also initiated the Q force, if you will, the highest clearance you can get. The same clearance that Rand Paul identified that Bill Gates had from 2014 to 2021. Why was Bill Gates allowed the authority for a Q clearance? And why was Bill Gates identifying things in respect to a vaccine in 2015 to the CIA, saying, if we have good luck in the next 4 to 5 years, we can depopulate by 15%. You think that was a joke? No. This is for real. And if any American is just sitting on their asses, not wanting to know this information, and not to mention the Epstein files, right? The Epstein files that identify all the pedophilia. And what is Epstein? Epstein was a Mossad agent out of Israel, right? And where is Mossad? Mossad is the brother of the CIA in the late 40s, the same time frame as when the state of Israel was named Israel from the Palestinians, right? There's so much information that is out there and available for people if they would take the time to understand the foundation of why we are at where we're at today. You need to know that in order to respect the fact that us patriots, us in the militia that we're in, it doesn't have to be shoot, shoot, bang, bang. We are giving through digital soldiers, if you will, like General Flynn identified, real information, real tangible information. But due to the MK Ultra, the mind control, the programming that all of us have gone through, we almost feel numb to want to step forward. We feel numb to want to make a phone call. No longer feel that way. This is for your children, your grandchildren. I talked to a legislator the other day. I hope if we go to war, it's when I'm still here and not with my children. Well, Mr. Legislator, take that energy that you feel that way and actually learn why we are where we are and be the voice and leader in our county the way you need to be, in the way that you have explained it to me. Do that. Okay.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
all.
And you've got to
They
know
have to
who
take certain
you're
amount of
battling.
responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I think you really have to. It's very, it's needed for everybody to understand, even though it's not hard for us anymore to say that, the Clintons, the Obamas, the Bidens, the Bushes, the royal families, the freaking psyop governments of the freaking world, that are, the city of London, the Vatican, they're all freaking Khazarians, And what were you going to say, Bill?
I'd like to add to that when you're done.
Yeah.
You just spiked something up, and I got some notes on it.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I get excited.
You're great.
We have to also understand the path that the bad wanted, okay? The path, the plan, the secret covenant, they had a plan, an Agenda 21, an Agenda 2030, and it was real. They wanted a total population of 500 million people on the planet Earth by 2030. That being said, Hillary Clinton was due to win the 2016 election. She was due to win. And if anybody remembers back when all the CNNs, all the actors, everything was, Hillary's going to win, Trump's not going to win. It was almost brainwashed into people that Trump wasn't going to win. Our Space Force, our special operators stopped the steal. And what I mean by that is the servers from Serbia, from Italy, from the Vatican were stopped. Donald Trump organically won that presidency. He organically won with enough votes, actual tally votes, versus the assistance of the electronic voting. So he didn't steal the election. The military blocked the foreign involvement at that time to get him into office in order for this operation to go to the next level. Thank God that worked, or we would have had a civil war. That's key number one. Number two, the bad people, if Hillary Clinton would have won that first stint, 2017 to 2020, she would have had a nuclear bomb take off in New York City. That would have created a World War III between Russia and America, because the forensics would have found uranium that her ass sold Russia many years ago. That's what the plan was. Our special forces, Navy SEALs, went to that ship and collected that bomb from what was her what was the name of that ship?
Evergreen,
The
Evergrande.
Evergreen ship. That, if she would have been president, would have happened, which would have made her a wartime president, because a war would have been created. Then COVID-19 would have come out. That would have been more control, more death, more control. None of us patriots, would be communicating with you right now if she became president. We would have been put in FEMA camps. There was guillotines. And none of this is a conspiracy theory. This is fact. So when folks get so upset at me and everything, I look at them and smile and say, you know what? I wouldn't have been here if we weren't winning. We are winning because you could hear my voice. And if you can hear my voice, that means the operation is still underway. In a lot of things that may not look right, there's a reason for certain narratives to exist. Epstein files came out at certain intervals. Now we have Fauci coming out with, I plead the fifth, I plead the fifth.
Right.
It's all going to tie in. They're going to use the catalyst of the 2020 election fraud, that they have all the ample amount of information, and that will be our reasoning for this declaration of emergency for our nation. We will not see elections this November. They will be paused. That is the unapologetic truth that everybody's got to have. You don't have to have it, but if you want to make a difference, you better come on board.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
If you're coming on board, you're going to see about Q. Q is freaking real. The Q movement, man. You know, all the air cues that he does. Saying 17 so many freaking times you can't even count it. Up there in a speech saying the same thing 3 times. And what do? We go and we figure out what he's trying to tell us, you know. And what's all that? What's Q ran by? Would that be you? I think, Oathkeeper Bill, it was you. You were talking about the Department of Energy the other day. Is that correct?
The Department of Energy are who heads that highest clearance you can get is through the Department of Energy, and it's a Q clearance. And another thing, a lot of people are like, oh, President Trump. He is a public figure. He's a face. I love him personally in respect to his especially his humor. But on 4chan, when the Q post started in 2017 in October, you get 4,000 plus posts. Do you really think there was a little nerd a week prior that made all of those posts? You know, do you think it was a little nerd somewhere in our national security somewhere who identified the next 4 years, and as the 4 years happen, there's a Q post that correlates with what has just occurred? Do you think that little nerd did that in a week? This was decades and decades and decades in the making. So I just
How excited were y'all? How excited were y'all when Trump posted it? Reposted the first Q post he did? I was like, oh Lord, this is getting crazy. You know, I freaking loved it. And what's coming now? What's coming in the near future? Gold and silver being revalued. backed stable coins backed by gold and silver. And what has already happened, the Federal Reserve being engulfed by the Treasury, you can't make that stuff up. It's the what does he always say? The golden age or whatever. That's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Just hold off a little bit, everybody. Chill. It is coming.
And President Trump's not going to put his signature on any currency unless it's backed by gold. He's just not. He's not going to put his signature. It may identify Federal Reserve. Don't let that fool you. If you need assistance in learning this, read the Genius Act. If you are mad at the Federal Reserve because those of us that read the Genius Act. Until you read the Genius Act, don't be a piss pot.
When you talk about the Federal Reserve, that whole deal right there, we are going to get authorized. You need some money. We're going to tell the engraving company or the Department of Engraving to print the money. I'm going to lend you the money and then turn around and ask for an interest on money that you don't owe, but I'm going to get the interest of it. Where did that come from? I mean, who made that dumbass deal? That's stupid. I mean, I could tell you that they still in the banks do that. When I was trying to get something built here, I had the money. It says, well, we could move your money into this account and you could withdraw from it and then you could put it back, but you have to pay an interest. I like, what? You're going to pay me an interest? I have to pay you an interest on my own money? Oh, no, forget it. I'll finance it myself. Forget about it.
And you're identifying something that we know is wrong, Eddie, but there's a lot of folks that have no clue that's wrong. Same thing with our taxes going up. The assessments go up in our county because they don't know any better. They only know, well, we need to do more assessments. The assessments go up, more taxes. That's what they know. They don't even realize how unconstitutional it is. And those
but
that
you turn around and talking about property taxes, these people don't come out to look at your property. They do it all via GPS or whatever the hell it's called on Google.
Yeah.
On Google Maps. They look at your property and they determine. They don't know what you have, what's living area and what's not living area. They just charge you for whatever they could figure out by the formula that they have to figure out how big is your property and how much stuff you have on it. And that's how they charge you your taxes. Because I've gone to the appraisal and fought that. It says, when did you guys go to see my property? Oh, we did it through Google Maps. That's what.
And don't stop contacting your local legislators, your local board members, anybody. Just keep sharing your truth. Whether they contact you, or respond, is on them. But soon they're going to get knocks on the door, and they cannot say, "I didn't know." There is going to be an ultimate moment for them. And that is when they will either let go of the fence and say, yes, thank you, I'm glad you're here. Or they'll become a whistleblower. Or they'll quit. They might even kill themselves due to the amount of corruption they're in. Or they'll get arrested. One of those things are going to happen. But it's all on them, you see. And that's without a bullet going their direction. That's information. So whether they accept the information from patriots like ourselves who have done the due diligence, or that knock on the door that's coming, because task forces that have been created in our upper levels, they being our local legislators, our representatives, our sheriffs, our judges and lawyers, better go, why would they have task forces? I thought they had special attorneys or the what do they call them? Inspector generals. I thought they had inspector generals. No, Siggy is dead. Siggy is gone. You're not going to see any more of those. And if anybody's listening, you're going to notice there's going to be a drop in protesters, drop in No Kings rallies. You're going to see a drop in it. You know why? Because the money is running dry.
Yep.
But we can use protesters ourselves. And you can protest with just giving information. Fraudulent elections, foreign involvement in our elections, please, whatever you want to do, but learn what has occurred, learn what has happened, figure out through patriots that have done their due diligence, and look beyond your circle. Keep going and talk to your family. All of those who have gotten the vaccinations, we're not against you. We never have been against you, nor will we be. We love you. We want you to learn what we have learned. We want to learn what you know. So I just wanted to throw that out there too.
Okay.
You got to look at this also as a spiritual war, a spiritual war that's actively being fought against God and those who follow God. And, the ones that we're fighting are, I like to call them parasites, groups. Some people call them globalista, cabal, Luciferian in nature. These are freaking predators, they're freaking lizards, they're vampires. I call them draconian vampires, and I don't even know, I just like to, because what they need is they need chaos, they need war, and they need death to fulfill their prophecies. That has a lot to do with Albert Pike, and he predicted, it would take 3 world wars, and they follow this guy like he's a prophet, like he's freaking crazy. And these crazy people, these whatever they are, nasty cabal, you see them in factions of Israel and Iran and Ukraine, where all these crazy things are going on against children and women and making bioweapons and all this stuff. That's, they made COVID-19 to cheat on elections. That's one of the major things that they did. And I think it was Cliff last night that was saying that Islam itself was created by the cabal as a tool for division. And it wasn't even spoken of, Islam until 350 years after the prophet's death. There's something going on there. We'll see how that all pans out. But tell you what, if you look at Spain, when you look at what's going on in New York, in Austin, in certain places, we're going to see it. We're going to see it. I'd say it's time to be ready.
Yes, sir. It's time to be ready. But just like you brought up, just like you brought up, Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030. And this thing that is happening in Spain is called Morocco 2030. But it's happening now. So it appears that in certain parts of the world, that 2030 is being moved much closer and much faster. All those supposedly operations that they might have are being moved forward. What's the reason? Maybe the White House are getting too close, or we're taking in too much. So can you put that map up, Warren?
Yeah.
Can you enlarge it a little bit?
I don't know how. I don't know.
Just hit that plus sign. The plus sign on the corner.
Okay.
There you go. That's good. Now, if you guys look at Benzu,
Is that okay?
No, go up. Go more. Go to positive. Positive. There you go. Right there. Right there.
All right.
Well, the part that sticks out, that's Ceuta, and it borders with Morocco. Okay. Now Ceuta and Melilla are on the North African continent. That belongs to Spain, but it's not Spain proper. And that's the confusion that I had earlier today, or yesterday, when you saw all those people. Well, it happens that the president of Spain changed the rules. Okay. And what he said is that you can't get protection from protection under Spanish law by going over the border or digging tunnels to get in. You have to swim around all the obstacles, and it's 14 kilometers of obstacles around the area. Now, once you get in, you have technically what with Pedro Sanchez, the president of Spain, says you're going to receive amnesty and stay. Now you could go once you receive amnesty and you get a passport, you could go anywhere in the European Union. Okay, and into the European continent, which is that above that, north of there, is the Strait of Gibraltar, right? And the thing that they could lose if this continue to lose, they could lose control of their part of the Strait of Gibraltar. Not only that, the population of Ceuta and the other Melilla in that area is 83,000 people. Now, within 24 hours, you had 50,000 people walk in or invade. That's more than half of the population of this state of Spain.
Right.
Okay, so they're breaking into houses, they're setting fires, they're sleeping in the streets, they're attacking people, you name it. But a little bit, and then I was watching an interview of an agent of the National Center of Intelligence of Spain, the Central National Intelligence of Spain, the CNI, and he was claiming that they believe that Israel has a hand on this. Also, that this whole thing, where is it? Oh, is this when we were talking about, the bill was talking about Agenda 2030. Well, there's a Morocco 2030. Now, according to what he was saying, was that the government of Spain knew about what was going to happen years ago, that they've been telling, hey, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. A week or two ago, every level of government was informed that this invasion was going to happen. They knew about it. Okay. And let me give you the reason that he says that they believe that Israel had a hand on this, because back in March of 1492, the Catholic monarch, King Ferdinand II and Queen Isabella, issued the Alhambra decree ordering all practicing Judaism to convert to Catholicism or leave the country by July 31st, 1492. So is there a coincidence so a lot were forced to go into exile that ended for centuries of the life of Jews in Spain.
Right.
But
Some of them
whistleblower
tried to convert to Christianity, but they were still.
to stay. They didn't want to leave what they had, and they converted.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing. This is where it gets juicy. That the agent, his anonymous name was Jose Maria. He said that they believe that there has been blackmail throughout different levels of the Spanish government to include the monarch or the king of Spain for this to happen. So a possibility that there's another Epstein list, because Morocco has been blackmailing them. So it gets pretty juicy on that part. And
one thing also is that Spain has crazy amounts of unemployment. They're a freaking mess when it comes to unemployment, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And
Because the initial invasion from North Africa into Europe, that messed up everything right there.
Yeah.
That messed up everything.
And then you bring thousands of migrants in there from Africa or wherever it is, and that's, you got a problem. So yeah. Now somebody was saying something like they're expecting an extra 3 million people or something like that to enter the country. Do we know how many have gone in there so far?
50,000.
Okay. And that's
so there's
taxing
chaos
like crazy. That's double. That's half of what their population is. That's what you were saying earlier, I think.
Yeah, they're more than half of the population of Ceuta. But the thing is that the government of the state of Ceuta is already called out to the main government of Spain for help to bring troops to get all these people out, all this and all that. But the thing is that Sanchez, the president, made that statement that if you make it through all the obstacles, 14 kilometers of obstacles swimming through the ocean, you're going to be protected. You're going to have protection under the Spanish law, which is technically saying amnesty. And then, to make matters worse, the president of Spain takes off on a 5-week vacation.
Right.
That's good, ain't it? It's like
Right.
throw a monkey wrench into the whole thing and then leave. Let somebody else try to figure it out.
Speaking of a monkey wrench, we got a monkey over here in the chats. I'm just laughing at this idiot. I think that's funny. You freaking punk.
Yeah, a lot of it is the ignorance.
You'd be watching a different show. You're on the wrong show, fool. You need to find somebody you could agree with, you idiot.
And then coming back to the new world, Venezuela. Elon Musk is going to Venezuela to set up the Starlink for the whole country. And that's creating problems with the regime because now they can't do digital censoring because it's going to be more difficult to try to get into Starlink to do that, So that's another thing. And then the other big problem or criminal activity that has been going on for a long time that goes into Plus Ultra, the airline company that Spain saved with injecting something like 58 million euros to bring it up, but it was only being used by Venezuela and President Zapatero. Well, the CEO of Plus Ultra admitted that the majority holder of the airlines were businessmen from Venezuela who had close ties to the Chavez regime, Maduro, you know. So that's another kick in the teeth for Venezuela and for Zapatero. And that also Zapatero was getting 1% of all royalties from the use of the airlines. You know, like, wow, that's quite a bit. And then going down or coming up, uh, the going into Mexico, there was a big seizure done in San Luis Rio, Colorado, and that's across the border from Yuma, Arizona, and they confiscated 81 firearms, 4 machine guns, approximately 124,800 rounds, and 128 magazines. That's the start of war, bro. That's a pallet. That's a pallet of rounds. I'm telling you. Well, the involvement included the Mexican Army National Guard, Attorney General Office, and local authorities. So that's pretty good. That's a good seizure right now. The question is, where did the weapons come from? Because the last big seizure that they had in Sinaloa was involving some gun dealers from Serbia.
Right.
You figure. Are they still part of the Fast and Furious that supposedly went up? Well, and then,
Hey, man, doesn't he remind you of Little Mike? Little Mike.
Yep. And what's fun is watching all these different states, like Georgia, California, New York State, different things that are Minnesota, right? These are the genesis of different things. You've got the fraudulent with the immigrations through Minnesota. You've got the ballot harvesting stuff in Georgia. And then you have California primaries that just happened. And in New York State, you have the man dummy coming out with the communists, you know. So it's a little bit of everything coming out into those states that I believe the operation is using as the genesis to the whole nation of what's about to come. And one thing, Hochul talking about the 287G, she is literally throwing out information to all the sheriffs. You better not participate anymore with ICE. Well, we're starting to see a step up from sheriffs all over New York State now in respect to Hochul. You can go, piss up a tree because we're not listening to you. Same thing with the AG, right? So that's excellent. Our sheriff is going to meet up with, I better be careful what I say because there's a lot of things also that are special things going on with the sheriffs that aren't ready yet to come out. But we are in good hands for the hands that we have. And the Revolutionary War, the first one, not the second one. We're in the second one. The first one I'm talking about. There was not very many patriots that stood up to help the militia, that stood up to help the Continental Army. So we're in the same situation here, and we have a lot of loyalists that are still against us, if you will, that don't even know any better, just like this nutball Malo or Mayo Mayonnaise or whatever his name is on the board here. Ignorant people, because if they just take the time to read, they will know the answers. But it's easier to say, oh, you're a fool, Well, what's your solution there, nut brain?
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Don't let this guy get at you. He's just so that I have a little idea who this is, so I won't even But let me bring one
Me
more
too.
thing about Mexico. The PepsiCo of Mexico that operates in Pepsi Cola company in Mexico got fired, got set up, got burned down. The crazy thing about it was that the firefighters were stopped from putting out the fire. It burned down to the ground. So they're looking at this. There's a possible extortion because Pepsi is a American company operating in Mexico. So they're looking at this as possible extortion that in the near future or in the future, there could be a more extortion on American companies like Ford, Chevy, Toyota, so on and so on of American companies in Mexico being extorted for protection money because the government right now doesn't have the capability to provide any security. So are they going to increase their security? Who knows? But PepsiCo in Mexico burned down big time.
Have a wonderful weekend, fellas. I love you guys.
Y'all do the same. Y'all do the same. Hope you have a great weekend. And
Hasta luego, muchachos.
adios, adios. All right. See y'all later. Thank you.
See ya.
Hey, thanks so much for joining. We appreciate it. Even you, punk. You're a clown. I like talking to you. You freaking idiot. You're a goofball. I think that is little Mike. Anyways, thanks so much for joining. Have a great weekend. We're on the right track. Things are rocking and rolling. We're good. So hang in there and don't let anybody mess with your frequency. Take it easy. Stay out of trouble. Join.patriotshoot.com. Come holler at us where we hang out, our Facebook type scenario, and then come see me in Talk Time. Thanks so much. Have a good evening and bye.